Mustafa, you can go first. Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Good evening to you. My name is Mustafa Salahuddin. I'm the president business agent of the Amalgamated Transit Union Local 1336 out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. And I'm here to present on the different ways we have we present our Equity Day. We tried to get as much involvement on our from the community as we possibly can, as well as from our membership. One of the key things in getting off any Equity Day is making sure you have participation. Participation both by community, membership, as well as city officials, and even the transit personnel, the bosses. The 2 Equity Days that we've done, we've included some of the transit systems in their staff, and it has really given them, they really caught the bug from it all. And just to share some of that with you, at the top here, they're sharing my page now. Wait a minute, lost it. All right. So this is yours truly, and you can see Veronica Chavers over to the right with the city official, and the young man that's holding he's holding a pen of Rosa Parks. We gave out commemorable pins so that they could be reminded of what this day was about, the importance, as well as push the agenda of the transit union and what it is we're trying to accomplish. If you could drop down below, just under that picture on the left-hand side, I'll share another. Go down again. I'm looking for the table. I'm looking for a table that we manned at the Greater Bridgeport Transit. This was at a transit center in the heart of Bridgeport, in the downtown area. Just below that, we set up a table. Pretty much. That table served as an educational. Wait a minute, you got it up. I see it. Okay, I'll just keep talking, and if it pops up, okay, there it is. Those were 2 of my members. One was from lost that. One was from Milford Transit. His name was Eric Rodriguez, and to the right of him was a newly hired member who was very exciting. Her name is Susan Anano. She was very excited to be a part of this informational and community-based Equity Day. And as you can see, there was countless flyers and of different agendas that we were pushing in terms of the air quality on buses. We took that opportunity to talk about the moving to total electricity on the buses, and as well as educate the people about the movement that embarked and surrounded Rosa Parks. And so it was a full, it's just a beautiful time and a beautiful day, and people were really receptive to it. We took pictures of people. We had, we set up, the pictures I sent, I just wanted to share with you. Pretty much it just commemorates Rosa Parks and what that mission was, and what and those statements that were made in her regard. And the general public was just so receptive to it. We set up a memorial on one of the buses where we had a nice bouquet of flowers and also a sign commemorating Rosa Parks. And we allowed the general public to sit next to it and take pictures. And that really went far. As you can see, that some of the individuals who sat near the young lady on the right, Susan again. As you can see, she's trying to mimic Rosa Parks looking out the window. And on the left-hand side was a random rider who was she was so taken aback from just that seat being singled out for Rosa Parks. She asked if she could sit behind it and also take a picture. And the positive feedback from this was tremendous. And I believe that's what really got the transit, the Greater Bridgeport Transit involved heavily. And the general manager always wants to know, when is the next one? So we can do more. So if you include everyone, inclusion is everything. And when you include everyone, this grows legs. It literally expands itself. You don't have to go out of your way. I get calls before Equity Day even comes. I'm getting calls right now. What are our plans? What are we going to do? What do we need? And so it's a beautiful thing. And including the general public is everything. As you can see, I mean, this was all on Facebook as well. And they were literally thanking the transit company for acknowledging Rosa Parks. So that was free publicity for them as well. And so, you know, there's a number of things you can do. We even wrapped the bus for Milford Transit. We literally, we don't have a picture of it here, but we put a great big huge wreath on the front of it, and we put ribbons around the entire bus. And those are just some of the ideas that you can put into play when it comes to this. And I'm going to let Veronica Chavers share some of the things that she did as you know, as another ATU that's within the city. We're 9 ATU. We have 9 locals in the area, spread out through Connecticut. As far as Connecticut southbound, and when you're going northbound, as far as almost to the Indian reservations up in Foxwoods. So we have created a ATU legislative committee where we get together and we brainstorm and we figure out what it is we're going to do and what we're going to bring to the table or to the legislation and what we would like to see done next. So great things are coming. We're making a full court press for total e-school buses. I had a meeting today with a couple of organization members who really want to get behind that idea. Bridgeport is a urban city, one of the ground zeros of the state, because it is one of the cities that has the worst air quality. And a lot of children there suffer from upper respiratory diseases. Me being one of them. I was born with asthma and cystic fibrosis. And we have a lot of children like that in that area. So they want Bridgeport to be ground zero for total e-school buses in the next coming years. So I'm looking forward to that. We're in the planning stages of that. Now I'll turn it over to Veronica Chavers, the beautiful Miss First Lady Veronica Chavers, where she could give you some of the ideas she had during her Equity Day.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for that great introduction, Mustafa. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, Queen.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Mustafa, I would like to thank my brother for that great introduction. I am the First Lady. My name is Veronica Chavers. And I just want you to know that they call me First Lady because I am the president and business agent of Amalgamated Transit Union Local 443 down in Stamford. And they called me that because I'm also the First Lady in Connecticut to be the union president, which I am extremely proud of. I want to take the baton from Mustafa. We work together closely. That is really, truly my brother. And I really respect him as well as I do everybody else on this line. Mr. Hamilton, I just want to reach out to him. He's been a great leader for Mustafa and myself. So I just want to acknowledge Mr. Hamilton, our IVP, International Vice President, on the line, and the other great people from ATU and anybody else on this line. So getting back to what Mustafa just said, we acknowledge Transit Equity Day we take it very seriously. I think we started, Mustafa, correct me if I'm wrong, about 3 years ago, and we started out together. We got together and we sat down and we made some plans. And so Mustafa and I, we connect because down in Stanford, we have a bus that runs from Norwalk, well, from Stanford to Norwalk. And that's where Mustafa takes our transfers, and they as well connect with us. And we had the same idea. I got some of my ideas from Mustafa, but I had a stationary bus in my area. So what I did, I went to Connecticut Transit, and what I did for my first Transit Equity Day, and it worked. And I got so many people involved, especially the public, which was a very great turnout for me. I went to Connecticut Transit. I asked for a bus downtown in Atlantic Square, we call it. That's one of our main stops where people get on besides the railroad station. So I made my bus out like a museum. So we stayed there, and that's what I did. That was another great idea I came up with because I that's who I am. I like to be different, and you can see my bus right there in that screen right there, or that yeah, I'm gonna say screen. You see the 7053 on the bus? I don't know if you guys are familiar, but I'm gonna educate you. And it says Rosa. That was her jail number when she went to jail for fighting for a seat on the bus for the Montgomery boycott. So 7053, I'm just going to throw a little joke in there. If you play numbers, do that. I'm pretty sure it's going to come out because that's royalty sitting there. And I had a rose across the seat in her picture. So that is my bus. And in the back of the bus, you'll see the other activists back there. That was a blanket that I received from when Obama first became president of the United States, the first African-American that became president. And right there, you'll see it says seats reserved. So I went to Party City and I got those signs. And on the other side of the bus, if she has that, you would see a picture of Rosa Parks. And I drew a poster and I sat it in a seat along with a dozen of some flowers. And one year I did a dozen of roses. And that seat was reserved as well, and no one can sit in that seat. So what I had was a walk through Rosa Parks Museum, a transit equity walk through museum. And I had the back door open. The news channel 12 came out, my local news station. They came out, and I rolled out the red carpet. I don't know if she has that picture, and if she could put it up on the screen for me. I rolled out the red carpet one year for her, and that was the first year we did that. And I invited management down. They were there. I think you have a picture of that, Anne, if you would show it, where I rolled out the red carpet, because that's what she is, Rosa Parks, and that's what she stood for, royalty for me. There it is, my division manager, myself, and my colleagues. And we had a bus driver and see my vice president right there. That's what ATU Local 443. Those are the pictures and the poster that I put together, and I took her life story. And I got a bullhorn, and I stood outside the door, and I also wrote an essay for her, and I told about her life story and her biography of Rosa Parks, and I connected it with Transit Equity Day. So it was all about her that day because she's a hero for me. And I just want you also. I also want you to know that we got coffee and donuts. We passed out bus passes. Connecticut Transit did contribute. I made them contribute. So we got bus passes, all day bus passes. I asked them for monthly bus passes. We got those. What else did we get? Reached out to my favorite people that taught me how to be a union president. There's my there at the left-hand side on the screen. You'll see the Transit Equity banner that I had made. I reached out to my favorite people, Amalgamated Transit Union down in Silver Spring, Maryland. Our president, International Larry Hanley, I think was at the time, Mustafa, correct me if I'm wrong. And then I reached out to Costa, President Costa, who was our president now, who I respect both of them fully. They helped me a whole lot. They assisted me on that. They sent me pens, buttons, pamphlets, all kinds of stuff. And I was able to educate the public about Rosa Parks and how she stood up and gave, sat down and gave up her seat, and the woman who she stood for. So that's how I want to sum it up by letting you guys know. I also we honored her to the highest, and I had some of the members come out. We decorated the outside of the bus with some of her pictures, and that also the Transit Equity Day sign you see. I have two of those. I decorated that, and Stanford is growing rapidly. Mustafa talked a little bit about his town. Stanford is growing rapidly. We have more bus operators. We're hiring. Monday, we just did a press conference. The electric buses are coming in for the infrastructure part of it, that the monies that we received, we will be receiving, that Biden actually signed for, and we're grateful for that. And like Mustafa, my brother, said, the pollution to every five, and I was taught this by, I believe, the great IVP Bruce Hamilton, for every bus, one bus, 5 cars, then that would stop the pollution. And that's what we're trying to do in order to decrease the pollution and get people to ride the buses, because that's what the working classes and different people, everybody always think is this people, poor people, or people that don't have anything. No, we carry all kinds of special cargo. So we would like to also enlighten you on that. Business people, what I'm trying to do down in Stanford, I just helped the new mayor get elected, and she's a shero. Another woman came aboard, and I'm proud of that. Her name is Carolyn Simmons, and she ran against Bobby Valentine, and everybody knows about Bobby Valentine. And like I said, knowledge is power. It's not about the fame. Knowledge is power. I also have a college degree, and I believe in education. So I educate anybody I can with Transit Equity Day. And I'm going to tell you guys, it's a beautiful thing to get involved in Transit Equity Day, because the people need to know what Rosa Parks did and what she stood for, and with the shero and the royalty that she has, or have shown everybody all over the world. She is an icon. I'm proud because she's an African American woman like myself, and she was a fighter, a hard worker. She was a seamstress. She was a jailbird, but she stood up for what was right, as I do. And I'm going to just say, and I'm going to end it by saying that if you need to reach out to the ATU, as far as me and Mustafa, and also Miss Ann, Mike is there. We have all type of people that can help you with upcoming Transit Equity Day. I'm just going to ask that you guys get involved, because it's very important to the transit world. And as the transit voice, we are the transit voices, and we need your help to expand it all over the world, because it's important to all of us. And I want to thank you for including me as one of your speakers. And I hope that I was able to reach out to one, because each one teach one. And I just want you to know I'm here for you. God bless you all, and be safe.